Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Wednesday, July the 2nd of 2025. I'm Stasia Blake. In the headlines tonight, murder charge laid in Grenada's 7th homicide for 2025. Telescope quarry explosion leaves trail of destruction. Grenada kicks off 2026 national budget preparation. While in regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's Senate passes Prime Minister's pension amendment bill. And internationally, U.S. aid shuts down after 60 years of operation. And coming up in sports, second test in Australia's tour of the Caribbean bowls off tomorrow morning at the National Cricket Stadium. We'll have all the details for you right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave bathroom tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. A powerful explosion at the Telescope quarry Tuesday afternoon has left more questions than answers as residents and business owners seek clarity on what went wrong and who will take responsibility. Rena Pierre-Thomas has this update.
What caused the powerful blast on Tuesday afternoon at the Telescope quarry, and who will compensate residents and business owners for the damage to their properties? These are the 2 pressing questions being asked by affected residents and the general public, but there are no clear answers yet. The massive explosion, which occurred shortly after 4 p.m. on Tuesday, impacted over 30 homes in the Telescope area. However, the damage extended beyond the immediate vicinity, with reports of shattered windows and structural damage in neighboring communities, including Paradise, Sobeys, and even some businesses in the town of Grenville. Still shaken from the incident, residents of Telescope shared their terrifying experience and are now calling for urgent answers and accountability.
The closest house to gravel and concrete is just maybe 50, 100 meters away from gravel and concrete. The windows and everything shattered, the door shattered, part of the roof lift up. It has a big crack. You have some cracks inside the house. Right about now, I'm calling on gravel and concrete. Okay, we have to know exactly the residents that had been affected. Okay, what would they tell us? You know, we want to know something.
Well, I did on the road by the shop. We thought the bombing stone across here. First of all, we hear it once, then we hear it twice. Next thing, the time I reach up on my step, I want to hear boom, a big explosion, smoke. My house at we heave, my house gone. The whole half, the galvanized, the wood break up, ply all on the ground. All my flour, my sugar, everything's on the ground inside my house is a mess. All my things, we are sleeping tonight.
I saw the galvanized, like the roof, go up and come back, and I hear the loud explosion, so I had us to take her and jump out. I ended up knocking my foot in the process. All my windows got broken. The fridge and other stuff in the house got damaged, so I didn't touch nothing. I just had us leave it like that. So I want to know who's gonna compensate us for the damage and the other house costs and everything.
And I heard the first explosion went off. And then, but I didn't take it serious because maybe something they blasting on me. But then when They know I heard a loud explosion. Then the only thing I had to do was to cover my face from glasses, because glasses and the picture all about the room.
The telescope quarry is operated by the Grenada Gravel, Concrete and Emulsion Production Corporation. Senior management and supervisors were seen at the site following the incident, assessing the damage and engaging with residents. Also present was Clary Simon, NADMA's district coordinator for St. Andrews Southeast, who was evaluating the extent of the impact.
Okay, presently, I was present at the scene, at the quarry, doing an assessment of the damages that was done. And at present, I'm speaking to some of the residents about issues or damages that they sustained because of the impact from what happened at the quarry. And based on my observation, quite a number of residents were affected. As coordinator, NADMA, we operate as a team. So I'm trying my very best to gather or call a meeting with my district committee and mobilize some of the members so that we can do a house-to-house visit so that in order to do an assessment of the damages that were sustained.
Unconfirmed reports suggest that the incident is linked to explosives stored in a building on the compound, which were later removed by members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Unconfirmed information also indicates that one worker sustained injuries and remains hospitalized. In a press release issued late Tuesday, the RGPF assured the public that the situation is under control and that a full investigation is underway. Meanwhile, the Grenada Gravel, Concrete and Emulsion Production Company, via a Facebook post, expressed concerns over the incident and emphasized that the safety and well-being of the public are their highest priorities. The company stated that it is working closely with local authorities and emergency service to assess the damage and secure the area. Their statement noted, and I quote, "Our team is on the ground doing everything possible to restore stability and support the community. We are committed to helping Telescope return to a state of normalcy as swiftly and safely as possible." While many questions remain unanswered, chief among them, what triggered the blast and what compensation will be offered to affected individuals? GBN will continue to provide updates as more information comes available. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
In a preliminary statement on Tuesday, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell indicated that while the full extent of the damage is still being assessed and no fatalities have been reported, there is a need to closely monitor the health of those in the immediate area, particularly with regard to their hearing.
Yes, so the reports have come in of a pretty loud explosion in the telescope in the quarry area. The police are currently investigating the matter. They have established a perimeter. So far, preliminary reports indicate that a building on the site itself has suffered extensive damage. It is likely that some private homes and buildings as far as Grenville might have suffered damage to things like the windows and so on. So obviously the information is very, very preliminary at this stage. So the police is on the scene. They've established a perimeter. The investigations will continue, and as we have further updates, we'll be able to brief the public. But at this stage, we do not have any reports of any injury to persons or any death. But given how loud the explosion was, it is possible that persons may suffer negative hearing impacts as a result of this. So this is something that obviously will have to be monitored and checked. But it is very early, and we obviously can't say what is the cause of the explosion or the loud noise. But as the updates come in from the police, we will provide it. NADMA has also been notified and is also responding.
Tonight we bring you the latest on the non-capital murder charge laid against 22-year-old Calvin Antoine, the accused in the stabbing death of 27-year-old Kimani Phillip. The incident, which took place last Saturday in Palm Rose, St. David, has left families devastated and sparked renewed calls for action to tackle youth violence in Grenada. Nisha Paul has the details.
The man accused in Grenada's 7th homicide of 2025 has been formally charged. Calvin Antoine, a 22-year-old vendor from Woburn, St. George, made his first court appearance before Magistrate Sabina Gibbs at the St. David's Magistrates Court on Wednesday. He is facing a charge of non-capital murder in connection with the fatal stabbing of 27-year-old Kimani Phillip from Mamakan, St. Andrew. Antoine was was represented by attorney Francis Paul. The charge was read to him. However, due to the indictable nature of the offense, Antoine was not required to enter a plea. The fatal incident reportedly occurred just after 7 p.m. on Saturday, June 28th, in the Pomrose community in St. David. The father of one, known by many for his popular weekend Dalpuri sales, died after sustaining 3 stab wounds during the violent altercation, which is now recorded as Grenada's 7th homicide in 2025. Following the incident, Antoine allegedly fled the scene but turned himself into police on Monday, June 30th. A very tense atmosphere existed outside the courthouse, and members of both families engaged in a verbal clash. Outbursts of grief and frustration erupted, prompting a heavy police presence. As a security measure, the accused was escorted from court through a back exit of the St. David's police station to avoid confrontation. Despite the emotional charged atmosphere, a rare moment of empathy came from the mother of the accused, who publicly apologized to the family of the deceased.
I apologize to the family of the deceased. So all that I'm saying, I'm very sorry I wasn't there. So I'm not the one to blame for anything, and I'm really, really sorry about everything. And I hope in the future, because all I could say to them is like family to me, because I know some of them, and I want to tell them I'm really, really sorry.
Earlier this week, an elder sister of the deceased spoke with the GBN news team, describing her brother as a young man filled with ambition and dreams for the future.
If he want anything, any advice, he would reach out and say, Dana, look, what you think about that? And we would talk, because he had so many plans, so many things he discussed with me, and knowing how he died. How he died and what he had to endure is just, it's just like piece of my heart, just gone. It's like I don't even know what to think. I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I feel like, it's like a dream, like a nightmare, and I'm just trying to wake up, and I don't know how, because it's just hard to accept.
A family friend of the deceased also spoke out, urging national authorities and communities to address the root causes of youth violence.
Stop it. We are calling on authority. Who in authority? We're calling on the pastors, we're calling on the preachers, we're calling on everybody in society to come together. Let us pray. Let us pray for Grenada, because it looks like it just have like a demon surrounding around Grenada, Carriacou and Pittimatic with this violence what's taking place today in our country. Look, let us come together, each and everyone. Let us come together for Grenada. Let us pray. Let us have candle lighting. Let us see what we can do for our country to save the youths of today. It could have been my son, it could have been somebody else's own, but it's very painful to see how a young man lost his life in this violence.
Meanwhile, Antoine has been remanded to the Richmond Hill prison and is expected to return to court on July 23rd for mention, with a preliminary hearing into the charge scheduled to begin on July 29th. Reporting for GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
Opposition leader and leader of the new National Party, Emmeline Pierre, has added her voice to the conversation as Grenada moves to drop the oath of allegiance to the British monarch in a push for full sovereignty. Christina John reports.
The government of Grenada is preparing to introduce legislation to abolish the long-standing requirement for ministers and parliamentarians to swear allegiance to the King of England, marking a significant step in the island's ongoing push for full sovereignty. The proposed change reflects growing national sentiments to savor colonial-era ties and proclaim greater constitutional independence. This development comes amid continued debate around constitutional reform, a topic that has surfaced repeatedly in national referendums, the most recent in 2018. Opposition leader Emmeline Pierre of the New National Party voiced her party's support for changing the oath of allegiance, but cautioned against rushing the process.
So the New National Party is consistent in its position on this matter. We attempted to have change to the Constitution before, and this was one of the items that we brought forward to the people, and it was rejected. So our position doesn't change because we are in opposition. We are a consistent organization in terms of our views and positions, except there is sufficient reason for us to change that position. So any move that is brought forward, any bill that is proposed, any action that is proposed as it relates to a change in the Constitution, we will support. We believe that this is extremely important and requires national conversation, national dialogue, national debate, and discussion on this issue, and we would not be part of a process that is rushed to effect that change. We support it, but we believe that the entire nation needs to be part of this conversation. We believe that the process must be democratic and must involve all of our people at different levels, at the community level. So as a political organization, we would want to go to our supporters. We would want to go to the people we represent. Those of us who are parliamentary representatives, we would want to go to them to state our position, to engage them as to why we hold that position, and of course to advise them what we believe is the best position, and of course leave them to make the decision as to how they feel about that change.
While the government has not yet set a date for introducing the legislation or a possible referendum, the move signals a historic shift in Grenada's political identity, aligning with broader Caribbean trends towards republicanism and post-colonial reform. Christina John, GBN News.
This is news at 7. Coming up, Prime Minister responds to questions of corruption in post-Hurricane Beryl housing contracts. Stay with us.
Is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits. Terms and conditions apply. Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Need to check your bill balance? Use the Grenlec mobile app. Open the Grenlec mobile app and tap the icon labeled Balances at the bottom of the screen. View your bill details, including your current bill balance, the due date by which you must settle your bill, the amount and date of the last payment you made. It's quick, easy, and available 24/7. Convenience at your fingertips.
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, Resilience and Transformation, Enhancing Africa-Caribbean Economic Cooperation in an Era of Global Uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Do you have multiple loan payments? Is your debt weighing you down? Ariza has the solution. Simplify your loan with Ariza's Simplify Loan promotion. Now you can combine all your payments into one easy, manageable loan. Enjoy lower interest rates, flexible repayment terms, and more cash in hand for what truly matters. Less stress, more freedom. Live comfortably while reaching your financial goals. Ariza helps you simplify your life because you deserve financial freedom. Apply now. Visit any Ariza branch or WhatsApp us at 423-4987.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Dreaming of a summer vacation? We can make it happen. Need a credit card for summer spending? We can make that happen too. Need a loan for carnival, debt consolidation, education expenses, and more? We've got you covered with a Republic Bank Make It Happen loan. Up to 100% financing, competitive rates, and a chance to win great prizes. Live your best life this summer with financing from Republic Bank. Check out republicgrenada.com or visit us today to get your summer started right with a Make It Happen loan.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Time to get charged up for the Fuller Energy Home Series as West Indies takes on Australia in a fiery test match from July 3rd to 7th at the National Cricket Stadium from 10 a.m. each day. Free entry plus fun activities for children under 16 years old. Adult tickets start at just $5 per match day. Let's rally with the men in maroon. Go to windiscricket.com to secure your tickets now. West Indies is back in the spice aisle and we Fuller Energy.
West Indies going higher, Fuller Energy.
Conception Dance Theatre, The Path We Dance, Season 18 show, Sunday, July 6th, showtime 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Tickets, adults 65 EC, children 30 EC. Tickets available from any Conception Dance Theatre member and at GoToFet online. Come celebrate with us. See you there.
It happened
happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play InstaCash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep. Including Sundays. InstaCash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. 7 days after the finance minister disclosed irregularities in the allocation of public funds for post-Hurricane Beryl housing repairs, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has addressed the issue of corruption among contractors.
I am sure that with any government program, from time to time, you may have mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption. There is no systematic corruption in any of these instances. There are challenges, and I've said this repeatedly, with many of the contractors, because in many instances, their ability to manage the money, the ability to have the kind of financial literacy that is required is sometimes not there. Now, you could say you're not dealing with them, in which cases the homes are not going to be rebuilt because we simply don't have the capacity.
During his weekly interactive talk show, DMs with the PM, the Prime Minister, addressing the issue of corruption, described it as challenges. He attributed these challenges to the government's efforts to support small contractors who often lack financial literacy and employ workers without optimal working formulas.
Is fixed. I didn't have to give a fixed labor price. I can't pay you per day. You didn't have to tell me what is the job as a carpenter. It is $10 for the entire project. What is the job of the electrician? It is $2. What is the job of the plumber? It is $3, and say that is the job. Because if you don't and you pay them per day and they tell you $1 per day and they spend 3 months on the site and you pay them that way, then you quickly run out of money and the house is not built. And in many instances, this is what has happened to a lot of the small contractors that we've tried to work with, because everybody in Grenada always talks about you don't like to support a small man, you don't like to do this, you don't like to do that. The government has gone out of its way to try and support a lot of our smaller contractors. The minister and his team at MIT have even sought to work with Ariza to give some of them the ability so that there could be some financing from Ariza to allow them to even start some of these projects and so on, because the government process sometimes could be a lot slower because you have to go through procurement, you have to go through contract stages, and it could become challenging.
The Prime Minister explained that the government issued contracts to small contractors as a swift response to rebuild homes after the hurricane.
I'm sure there are instances where contractors may not have fulfilled their obligations, where the supervision should have been better, but I'm satisfied as the Prime Minister of the country that to a large measure, both the Ministry of Housing, both MIT have done their best to make sure that they can satisfy the needs of the persons who were impacted by Hurricane Beryl.
Grenada's water sector recorded a significant milestone on Wednesday with the official sod-turning ceremony for the Southern St. George Water Supply Expansion Project. The project, a collaborative effort between the Government of Grenada, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the UK government, aims to enhance water security, improve wastewater services, and increase climate resilience for thousands of residents and businesses. The project consists of two major components, including the expansion of the Congo Concord water treatment plant and the installation of new water mains and sewer lines. The project is expected to be completed by the first quarter of 2026 and will significantly reduce water losses and enhance wastewater services. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and other dignitaries attended this ceremony, which was also streamed live online. The Ministry of Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs has announced that the weekend of July 12th and 13th will be dedicated to National Days of Prayer for the Nation. A series of prayer caravans will be held across the island, bringing together people of all denominations to pray for the nation, all under the theme, Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. According to Pastor Joachim Phillip, the weekend of prayers aims to combine the spiritual and material worlds to combat antisocial behavior and bring hope to the nation.
Some of the prayer points are going to be reduction in knife and gun violence, and we see reduction in the suicide rate, youth empowerment, reduction in domestic violence and all forms of violence and abuse, restoration of families and family values, increase in moral values, the leadership of our nation and the leadership of the church, of course, anxiety and depression, and God's protection of the state during this hurricane season.
The prayers will focus on key issues, including youth empowerment and ending violence in all its forms. Additionally, prayers will be said for a safe and secure 2025 hurricane season.
On the weekend, we have both days. First, the Saturday, you have a prayer caravan that would happen, and the prayer caravan takes place, is going to go around the island. We start Saturday from Grenville to La Sagesse playing field. That one caravan will go there. They stop at the playing field, and you have a time of prayer, stopping, of course, at different points and praying. Then you have, on the Sunday, you have one caravan will take from La Sagesse over to the stadium, one will take from the stadium over to Guave, one will take from Sauters to Grenville. And so there's the coordination that the entire island will be canvassed with prayer. And so that is where every caravan will stop in the final destination and have times of prayer. As it relates to the churches, all of the churches will be involved. If they're not coming physically, there will be a time in the service designated for prayer for the nation.
The nation is expected to be saturated with prayers over the weekend, with people from all walks of life coming together to pray for the well-being and prosperity of Grenada. The Ministry of Finance has commenced the 2026 National Budget Preparation Exercise, committing to a collaborative process to shape the country's financial roadmap. The exercise started with a weekly budget meeting held on June 27th, where stakeholders reviewed the budget preparation calendar and laid the groundwork for a transparent and inclusive process. To ensure diverse perspectives are represented, the ministry will engage with key stakeholders and social partners across the nation. A dedicated online portal set to go live on the ministry's website in early July will allow the public to contribute ideas and feedback, further enhancing the budget's relevance to Grenada's priorities and develop objectives. High-level officials and experts from Caribbean Small Island Developing States, SIDS, will meet in Grenada next Wednesday and Thursday to discuss water security and climate change. The workshop, called Leveraging SDG 6 for Accelerated Water Investments in Caribbean SIDS, aims to share solutions and drive investment strategies for improved water governance and resilience. Organized by the UN Environment Program, Global Water Partnership Caribbean, and the Grenada Climate Resilient Water Sector Project, the event will focus on nature-based solutions and governance reform. Participants will work to strengthen capacity in water resources management, protect freshwater ecosystems, systems and promote coordination for water security. The goal is to enhance water security and climate resilience in the region through collaborative efforts and investment strategies. The workshop will support SIDS in addressing water challenges and promoting sustainable development. Coming up, Grenada mourns the loss of renowned producer Shem Felix. More news to come. Stay with us.
This isn't just rum. It's a captivating journey infused with the essence of Bios Bombay, warmth and wonder. Experience the rich depth of Campeche like never before. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online. What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians, from wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches, but the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grand Anse, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Grenada's music industry was plunged into mourning on Sunday following the loss of renowned music producer Shem Felix, known as Build the Vibes. Felix, a celebrated music producer, leaves behind a legacy that resonates across the country. He was well known for his creative genius and distinctive style, with hits like What's Ways, Take It to Them, and Get in Your Section. Felix was more than a producer, building emotions, memories, and movement through his music. He was cherished for his joyful spirit, laughter, and love for family and friends. His passing is a profound loss, but his legacy will live on through his beats and the lives he touched. Felix will be remembered for his talent, light, and love, leaving a lasting impact on the island and the wider soca community. A very heartbroken Brandon Durham, aka Brahma, a soca artiste who worked alongside Felix, remembers him as such.
You know, he was just this cool, humble person, you know. I mean, you know, the whole of Grenada are gonna miss him, you know. The whole of the music fraternity, especially because everybody wanna do music with Billy Vibes. You know, a lot of people know Billy Vibes. When I say know, they know the name Billy Vibes, but they don't know the person Billy Vibes, you know. I mean, we didn't just do music together, but he was actually my friend, you know. I've been crying whole day yesterday, you know. My head was hot and everything. I had to go sleep, you know, thinking it was a dream. When I wake up, you know, the dream gonna go away, you know. And it hit me a little bit harder because, you know, like 2 days ago, 3 days, I don't say 2 days ago, like Wednesday, Thursday, you know, I was talking to him and actually trying to help him stay positive and everything. But as the saying goes, you never know the amount of pain somebody is going through. And, you know, in this life, we have to expect the unexpected for sure, you know. But I mean, this one hurt me, you know. It hurt a lot of people. It hurt me, trust me. It's gonna hurt me for a long time, a very long time.
Well-known artiste Wilt Tall Pre-Cambridge said, as a young producer, Felix made his mark on the industry, locally and regionally.
I must say, my condolences goes out to the family of Billy Vibes, Shem. One of the fastest, youngest rising producers in Grenada. I mean, he's humble, cool, you know, shy is the word also, but very talented. I mean, his work speaks for itself, like, you know, from, you know, he's the one behind What's Ways for example. I've worked with Shem, all of the top artists in Grenada work with Shem before, even extending to regional artists, you know. So, you know, he will be missed, definitely. You know, I want to say again, condolences to the family. You know, he will be missed, man.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, is leading the charge in advancing Grenada's agricultural sector into the digital age. Christina John has more details.
The organization hosted a seminar last week under the theme Towards a Digital Future, Opportunities and Priorities for Grenada's Agriculture Sector. Held as part of Digital Agriculture Week 2025, the event brought together farmers, agronomists, extension officers, educators, innovators, and students to explore the transformative potential of digital technologies such as drones, mobile apps, and data analytics in improving productivity, resilience, and sustainability across the sector. Technical specialist for AICA Grenada, Gregory Del Sol, explains the reason behind the organization's promotion of digitization in agriculture.
Ultimately, our goal is one, to start the discussion on it, to bring the whole aspect of the digitization more to bring it to bear on the minds of the policy directorate, the stakeholders within the agricultural sector, and the students we had here, to show them that agriculture we can marry the two, technology, digitization, all of these things, we could marry them with agriculture. It also creates that interest in the young people in terms of getting to agriculture, knowing that we don't have to do everything in the old ways that we used to do them.
The seminar featured a dynamic lineup of presenters, each tackling critical aspects of agricultural digital future. Chad Fraser, Chief Executive Officer of Sonovas Limited, addressed the real-world needs and practical application of digital tools in agriculture sector, emphasizing that technology must be accessible and relevant to the realities of local farmers.
Right now, it's a very relevant topic. I think for agriculture to be sustainable in the long term, we need to embrace digital technology, whether it be for farm management, whether it be for drone technology for irrigation and other related technologies. I think the content that was delivered today here it's imperative that it's considered for the long-term sustainable. One of the things that we highlighted and I make sure we captured in the presentation is that agriculture industry is beyond, it's much bigger than farming, and that's usually what comes to mind for most people. All right, but we try to cover the digital technologies that could be applied to every group of stakeholders in the agriculture space.
Leslie Smith, Director of Renewable Energy in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, introduced the concept of agrivoltaics during his session, pointing to the benefits of combining solar energy systems with farming operations.
So I presented basically on three themes. One, to look at solar PV integrated into agriculture, a concept we call agrivoltaics, how we use the same plot of land to generate electricity and grow crops at the same time. Because there is this notion now that people are saying, why are they cutting down good agricultural lands to put up solar PV? So this agrivoltaics is an integration of cultivating crops on the same plot of land that can be used to generate electricity. So the farmer can get electricity for his use and can sell the excess to the grid as an additional source of income. The second theme I presented on was on hydroponics, soilless agriculture, how we can optimize the use of limited land or land that is not arable for farming, how we can utilize and make more efficient use of water by using 90% less water and nutrients, how we can reduce on labor costs and consistency of labor, increase yields, increase efficiency, and grow crops all year round rather than only when there are periods of rain. And the third area was looking at solar water pumps as opposed to the conventional gasoline and diesel pumps that are used.
Other presenters included Chief Extension Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lawrence St. Louis, who delivered on data gaps in extension services and production planning, highlighting the need for more robust data collection and analysis to support planning and farmer outreach. The presentation from Dr. Kim Baldwin, Director of Marine Spectral Information Solutions, Inc., showcased how drone technology can enhance crop monitoring and decision-making in the field. Christina John, GBN News.
Stay with us. We'll have sports and international news right after the break.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
It happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep. Including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Good evening, sports fans. The second test in Australia's tour of the Caribbean bowls off tomorrow morning at the National Cricket Stadium. Having done their assessment from a disappointing outing in Barbados, West Indies head coach Darren Sammy is demanding a sharper, more focused performance, particularly in the field and with the bat in the second test against Australia, which gets underway on Thursday. Sammy admitted that while some decisions in the opening test at Kensington Oval were contentious, it was the team's own shortcomings, most notably 7 dropped catches, that ultimately saw them slip to a 159-run defeat. Despite the defeat, Sammy remains steadfast in his belief that the squad should remain unchanged, as he highlighted the need for continuity and trust in the players' abilities. Speaking during an earlier interview, Coach Rolston Chase agrees.
Yeah, I thought where we fell down it was the third morning. I think the third morning of the test, we had our plan set and we got the opportunity that we were looking for, but we grasped it. And I thought after that the guys went in the shell mentally, and then we strayed away from the plans that we had set, and we offered up too many runs, and then it's obviously was too much for us to get in the end.
There was also some questions regarding the fielding. Came up with a compromise a few times, significant drop catches at really important times of the game.
Yeah, well, they say catches win matches, and we put down quite a few. I mean, even though in the first innings we put down quite a few, we still restricted the Australians to 180, which I thought was good. But as I said, I thought that catch was very crucial. Travis said, obviously, the main batter in the side with Steve Smith out. He made us pay for it, and then obviously Webster and Carey fed off of his momentum. And as I said, they got too many runs for us, and obviously the momentum in the team, the spirit in the team had dropped after that, and we never really seemed to get it back.
Chase also took the occasion to evaluate his efforts as captain.
It went well. I thought I managed the guys well, especially with the bowlers. I mean, it was quite hot in Barbados, but I thought that I shuffled the bowlers well, and I thought I gave the guys confidence. I managed them well out there, and although we were struggling a bit in the second innings, I still thought that I was able to get the best out of the guys and keep the spirits high. But as I said, it didn't work out for us in the end.
Australia look likely to be boosted by the return of star batter Steve Smith for the second ICC World Test Championship contest against the West Indies. Smith batted with little discomfort on his injured finger, and the 36-year-old is set to return to Australia's 11 as they attempt to wrap up the Test series against the West Indies with victory in the second test that commences at the National Cricket Stadium on Thursday.
I think similar to last week, you don't 100% know what you're going to get. Coming up against players that we haven't played a lot against on a field that we have never played on before. So I think it's staying fairly open-minded. Our message is always remember what makes you a good player. Play to your strengths. But if the information takes you in a different direction, just make sure you're sharp and adapt. But it's been good to have one look at the team, the opposition last week, and don't think we need to change too much going into this one.
Grenada's team for the NCAC Age Group Championship left the island this morning for Nicaragua. The NCAC Age Group Championship is an international athletic event for 11 to 14-year-old athletes in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean region. The championship was inaugurated in 1985 and previously organized for Central America and the Caribbean countries and held every 2 years. The event includes 11 to 12-year-old and 13 to 14-year-old athletes competing in various events. At the meet, the under 15 athletes compete in 80-meter dash, 80-meter hurdles, that's 60 meters for females, 1,200 meters, that's 1,000 meters for females, long jump, high jump, shot put, and baseball throw. The under 13 athletes compete in 60 meters, long jump, high jump, baseball throw, 1,000 meters, and that becomes 800 meters for females. Kanisha Pascal and Livron Thorne will represent Grenada in this year's CARICOM 10K in Jamaica. The 10-kilometer run and 5-kilometer run and walk will precede the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM, being convened under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness from July the 6th to the 8th. The races are set to kick off at 6:30 a.m. Saturday from the Montego Bay Convention Center with warm-up scheduled for 6 a.m. First to third place finishers will be awarded for each race once the results are made available. The winner of the 10K race will receive $1,000, while the second and third place finishers will receive $500 and $250 respectively. Athletes participating in the 10K run will also compete for the CARICOM Chairman's Trophy, male, and the CARICOM Secretary General's Trophy, female. That's what's been happening in sports. Now for a look at what's been happening around the region and the wider globe today. The Trinidad and Tobago Senate passed the Prime Minister's Pension Act Amendment Bill with 20 votes in favor and 10 abstentions. The Attorney General defended the bill, stating it aims to maintain good order despite opposition claims that it targets an individual.
Honorable Senators, as a result of the division, 20 members voted in favor of the bill. No members voted against the bill, and Johnson abstained. And there were 10 abstentions. The bill is approved.
Attorney General John Jeremy defended the bill, which opposition argued to be targeted on an individual, stating that the merit of this act is aimed for the good order of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
My friend says that this law affects one person, but it's not written in that way. And the law in Ferguson was not written in that way. It was written to cover every person, including X or Y or Z or others who fell into that category and who might come to be in this position in the future.
The pension bill will see the former Prime Minister Stuart Young ineligible for the $1 million.
The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, ceases to exist, and its functions have been transferred to the State Department after over 60 years. The moves come amid spending cuts and restructuring efforts, limiting foreign assistance and humanitarian aid to vulnerable populations worldwide.
It was one of the first goals of the new U.S. government. The U.S. Agency for International Development was officially closed down on Tuesday. This marks the end of 6 decades of funding and leading development programs around the globe.
I've had heads of state say to me, the most important institution for us in Washington is not the Defense Department or the CIA or the State Department or the White House or the Congress. It's AID because we're a developing country. We need help in the development process.
USAID was established in 1961 under the government of John F. Kennedy. The agency has supported countless programs, ranging from fighting poverty to improving agriculture and saving millions of lives around the world.
I think we've lost the humanitarian instinct, the humanitarian imperative in the U.S. government by shutting AID down. And I think people in the developing world will see that, or they already see it in many areas of the world. I think there's a lot of anger toward the United States because of this, what's happened to AID.
A new study published in the U.S. journal The Lancet on Monday found that as many as 14 million people could lose their lives if U.S. cuts to humanitarian aid continue until 2030.
That's what's been happening around the region and the wider globe today. Recap of the night's top headlines. Murder charge laid in Grenada's 7th homicide for 2025. Telescope quarry explosion leaves trail of destruction. Grenada kicks off 2026 national budget preparation. And in regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's Senate passes Prime Minister's pension amendment bill. While internationally, USAID shuts down after 60 years of operation. And in sports, second test in Australia's tour of the Caribbean bowls off tomorrow morning at the National Cricket Stadium. If you missed any part of this newscast, there'll be a rebroadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Visit our website at www.gbn.gd for more news and stories. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/GBN News and Radio. I'm Stasia Blake, and that's the news. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow night.